Ladies, gentlemen, Boot Wizard subscribers, everybody who is watching, I owe you an apology. I have been sitting on a fantastic piece of equipment that you should definitely be checking out for far too long without sharing it with you. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I'm going to right a wrong and I'm going to let you know about this, the Lux Sport Ball, which is only £20 and quite frankly puts most other balls, maybe all other balls, in this price category to shame. So let's talk balls. Don't stop being childish. Footballs. So why have I been so impressed by this Lux Sports Ball? Well, you'll notice I have the brand new Premier League High Vis Nike Strike Ball alongside this because these would be competitors for sure. The Strike Ball is slightly more expensive, coming in at £25, whereas this is £20. And you know what? This has many elements that make the Strike look like it really could be a little bit subpar. The first thing I really want to focus in on is all of the joins between the balls. So this is a standard 32 panel football, as you might expect, which is a little different from some of these more modern, higher tech footballs, which believe that you get a rounder ball by using bigger panels. So there's bigger panels on the Strike. The things like the Nike Flight Ball only uses 3 panels to really try and make that ball as round as possible, which may sound crazy that a ball isn't round, but you can actually tell the difference if you do have multiple panels. It doesn't quite seamlessly flow the same way, and the way the air flows over the ball is different. So generally it has kind of been proven that bigger panels, moving away from a 32 panel football, can be better. However, all of those panels, however big or small, do have to be joined together, and these are thermo bonded. Now again, this may not sound like a big deal. For a ball at £20, this is a massive deal. If we take again this £25 Nike Strike, you can actually see already the stitching that is in the joins here, where all of these panels are stitched together. This means that this ball is more likely to retain water, it's more likely to break, it's more likely to lose its shape. It generally is of a lower quality, a lower consistency when stitched together. Something thermo bonded is what you're going to find on top end footballs. The first ball I had that did this, I think, was one of the Select Brilliant balls, and honestly, thermo bonded, been around a while, and it's quite frankly the best way to put your panels together, and this £20 ball has gone to the point of doing that. I'm very impressed. I've mentioned a couple of times there about consistency, and what I mean is consistency of the ball traveling through the air. Nike made a big deal of this with the Flight Ball when they launched that, and even if you look at this Nike Strike, you can see that it does have some of those Aerotrax grooves to allow the ball to travel through the air in a more consistent fashion. Or that's what Nike say at least, and that also is paired with kind of a texture, a little pilled dotted texture that runs all the way around the ball as well. It's all to give it a more consistent flight. If you look at a golf ball, that's a really good way of considering how you make a ball travel through the air by disrupting the air around it and allowing it to travel straight rather than the air catching the edges, which is what happens when something's too smooth, and forcing it to go and bend left or right unpredictably. We don't mind bend if that's what we want. Speaking of golf balls, let's have a look at the texture on this Lux ball. As you can see, it's basically golf ball dimpling to allow the ball to be more consistent, and it is consistent. It's very nice. It's very nice to strike, and you can trust that the ball is going to go and is going to do exactly what you want. It's a very simple method, putting that dimpling in, that golf ball style texture. It's not like trying to go to some crazy degree in wind tunnels, but you know that it's effective. If we bring in something like the Adidas Match Ball Replica, so this is kind of Nike Strike Ball level slightly above from Adidas. This is also thermo bonded, so this has those thermo bonded seams. This comes in just above £30 most of the time, but as you can see, this is completely smooth. This is entirely reliant on the grooves that are created by the shape of the panels in order to try and create a consistent flight through the air, and also the slightly matte finish to the ball. The Luxe, for me, does that better as well. It just has a better finish to allow for more consistency, even though I will say I really like both of these balls. The bladder on the inside of the Luxe balls, a butyl bladder, is pretty high quality. It's one thing that I was slightly concerned about. Now, this is going to sound completely insane. This ball holds air pretty damn well. You can blow it up, leave it, and it retains its air pressure for quite some time. Now, you might think that's a good thing, which it kind of is, but sometimes if a ball retains its air for too long, it's actually a sign of the bladder on the inside of the ball being of a lower quality, which can affect the touch and feel on the ball. But there seems to be a pretty decent balance here, and the kind of pressure, the slightly dampened, slightly padded sensation of each individual shape on the ball is very nice, and the bladder doesn't seem to be negatively affecting it in any way. Holds its air pretty well, and it's also a good weight. Again, you might be thinking, James, why are you talking nonsense about balls and weight? Well, some balls, and I do find this with Nike balls particularly, they tend to feel a little bit on the heavy side. So even when you've blown them up to the correct pressure, you can find that they feel a little bit heavy. That's not the case here. It's probably very slightly on the light side when compared to some other balls in a similar area, but it's not a problem at all, and one that I've enjoyed a lot. This does also, of course, have to bring us back around to the fact that this ball is 20 Great British pounds, less than 25 euros, which again, comparing to those two other balls, the Adidas and the Nike that I've brought up, is just a phenomenal price. And that's not on sale, that is just the price of this particular ball. And you know what? I would happily buy multiples of these and use them all the time. You may have seen me using it in one of my most recent reviews, doing the brand new recharge pack from Nike. And it's great. I have one actual problem with it, and it's going to sound completely insane because it's not performance related at all. I want it to be a different color. So this suits the color combination of Luxe as a brand. They use black, green, and white as their primary colors, and they have their kind of cobra into the Luxe as their logo. Looks great, nothing wrong with the ball, but I really think in order for this ball to be more commercially viable and more readily accepted, it needs to be white with green and white accents. We need a white ball with green and white accents. It just makes it that little bit easier to play with. It's going to be more viable for competitive games, and you can even have a high-vis version as well. But I just think in the black, it's not the best color for a ball in general, for something to play with. And despite the fact that I do like the design, I think there has to be a white match ball version of this, and that's my tip, my advice, my looking to the future for Luxe. But you know what? In black, considering I do a lot of play tests, I'm out on the pitch by myself a fair amount, and I'm just hitting free kicks, I'm trying to get a good feel for boots and things like that. This ball is fantastic for that, and I can highly recommend this. If you want to save a few pounds, a few euros, and get yourself a real high quality ball, they also do free shipping in the UK and the US. This is well worth considering, and it is of a better quality, a better standard than what you're going to get from something that's slightly more expensive, like the Nike Strike ball. What do you think of this Luxe ball? Please do let me know down in the comments. If you want to cop one, hit the link down in the top pinned comment, and of course, get subscribed to the channel, as well as liking the video if you did enjoy it. That is all from me here today. I hope you've had a good one. We will see you soon.